But today, we're doing a no leveling run in Bloodborne. Maybe we'll play Bloodborne a bunch of times today, like in the old days. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe I'll play Sekiro, maybe Neo 2, maybe Dead by Daylight. Who knows? Who knows? But I've tried to play a lot of new games lately, and it just hasn't gone well. I don't like them. You guys don't like them. Other games suck. Not my fault. An Orphan of Kaz run. There were two things I wanted from that mod developer, and one of them was Orphan of Kaz. I wanted to wield his placenta, and I wanted to play as Queen Yharnam too. I felt like Queen Yharnam would be an awesome, awesome, awesome boss to play as, because then you could use her blood sword and all of her blood magic. Jesus, that was a little bit crazy. Will you replay Returnal on the PC release? Yeah, probably, but I'll probably play it on PS5. That dress? I know, right, Marcy?
Oh, what?
I saw the Harry Potter game. What do you think about it? Is it any good? I don't think it's very good. I call them multimedia experiences. Something like that. It's the gameplay when it's a lot like God of War, honestly. The gameplay when it gives it to you is fine. And honestly, the gameplay could have developed into something that was really, really cool if a good game developer was making the game, like From Software. But the people who make it, they're not good game developers. They were focused on making an experience. They were focused on making something that everyone could play. It's not very faithful in terms of gameplay to the game lore as well, which I have a big problem with. And most of your time is spent watching cutscenes, listening to sniveling children whine about something that they can or cannot do. I would not recommend. I put like 20 hours into it plus, and I probably should have spent my time elsewhere. Excuse me. Desampify with the 14-month resubscription. Thanks, Desamp. Eric and Cora, good morning. Are you playing this on the PS5? Yes. It's smoother on the PS5. Digital Foundry posted a video a while ago where they said that the PS5 version of Bloodborne wasn't very good, and it wasn't an improvement at all. But I just find that to be inaccurate. I mean, it's not 60 FPS. Like, there's no update for it, but it's a much smoother experience. Damn, that was a kind of weird combo. Still got it though. No frame drops, better load times. Exactly. It's a smooth 29, 30 FPS. Hey, Aswin Moses. I thought you were at a point of no return with Hogwarts. What do you mean, like that I would continue playing it? Well, the thing is, I finished like a big quest line, and then I spent an hour and a half on a puzzle, which actually was a puzzle. So I appreciated that aspect of the game. It wasn't like I hated everything. They actually gave me a puzzle that was a little bit challenging for me to figure out, so I respect it. But once I completed it, basically I had to just go through the tutorial section of the game all over again, 20 hours in, which was just ridiculous. Like, they were gonna make me go back to school, learn a whole bunch of useless spells again, go through the same thing. It was like Assassin's Creed. You know in Assassin's Creed when, you know, you gotta climb a tower, you gotta steal information from a guy, you gotta collect a thing, you gotta kill a guy, dot, 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 dot. It's the same thing. You go to a new town, rinse and repeat. It was like the same exact thing. Irritated me. Jazzy Asher with the 11-month resubscription. Lixia with the 5-month Twitch Prime resubscription. Back to back. Thank you guys so much. Oh, that's not gonna fly. That's not gonna fly, buddy. That's not gonna fly. BL4? Yeah, we're doing BL4. You've never played an Assassin's Creed game ever. I played the first one. I played a bit of the second one until I realized it was the same exact game as the first one. I stopped. Why do they call the game transphobic? Well, there's, you know, a lot of people. J.K. Rowling has said a lot of, the writer of Harry Potter, she's said a lot of transphobic things. A lot of them. And she seems to go out of her way to say them too, which is really weird. So people correlate, because she made it, then the entire game is transphobic. And I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that at all. That's like calling me a racist because I'm playing a game based off of H.P. Lovecraft's world.
It sings to me.
You know, it's the same thing.
It's enough to make a man sick.
So, I'm definitely not transphobic. I'm definitely not racist because I play a video game. Oh, that was too late. Gotta be quicker. That was also too late. Damn, Gascoigne, he's mean. Do it. Thank you. Burn. Kill him in the crotch. People have been bullied off Twitch for playing it. I'm gonna be real, I've talked about that. I think the idea of getting bullied off Twitch for playing a video game, like, that's ridiculous. Like, the fact that you would allow people to dictate what you're playing, no. That's not me either. Who calls you racist? Nobody. But that's the argument that I'm saying. H.P. Lovecraft was racist. He was a terrible person. He made the Cthulhu mythos, which Miyazaki redeveloped and I'm playing, okay? Much the same way that J.K. Rowling, who's transphobic, made the Harry Potter, which Portkey developed, which I'm playing. It's the same exact thing. I'm not racist because I'm playing a video game. I'm not transphobic because I'm playing a video game. It doesn't work. That's basically, to me, a non sequitur. It does not follow. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. But on to other things. Like Bloodborne. You're a god, you taser them. There actually was a super lightning spell you could use in Hogwarts that did make me happy. Like I said, the game's not... Not everything is wrong with it. But my biggest issue with Hogwarts Legacy is the fact that it doesn't really let you play the game as much as I would like. It forces you to watch it instead of play it. Bot it up. Hey, kid. How's it going? Zeus have done a straight gun playthrough. Mitch has already linked it. That dual wielding gun run. I got to do another one of those soon. So it's not worth the $70. I paid $85 for Hogwarts Legacy. I wouldn't pay 70, wouldn't pay 50. I would say if you're a Harry Potter fan, but you also like video games, like, you know, you like Souls games and stuff, you don't really like watching things, maybe $20, you can get some entertainment from it. If you're a hardcore nostalgic about Harry Potter, you might love it regardless. I don't know.
Didn't you see the warning?
Oh, I love gyro controls. Playing Elden Ring Magic only is better than Harry Potter. Well, see, that's the thing, though. Yes and no. So the magic system in Harry Potter, I think, is better than the magic system. This is awful. In Elden Ring. I think magic in Dark Souls is awful. I think it's terrible. I've never liked it. I never will. I constantly harass people who use it all the time. Basically, you press one button and you win in Elden Ring. You know? Harry Potter at least made me parry things with magic. It made me switch my spells up. I couldn't spam the same spell over and over again. Each spell has cooldowns. The fighting was actually more dynamic in terms of what you can do on the controller than anything you could do with magic in Elden Ring or any Souls game, period. Period. You can't argue it. The magical combat system in Harry Potter, you've heard it here, is better than the magical combat system in Elden Ring. By a large margin. Now, what does Elden Ring do a lot better? It gives you enemies. It gives you bosses. So on the other, there's two sides to a fight, right? Especially in terms of gaming. One side is your gameplay, what you're doing on the controller. That's the system that Harry Potter excels at. What you're doing on the controller. What Elden Ring excels at is the other side of it. What the enemies are doing. How variable they are. What they look like. Their moveset. The amount of enemies, the amount of different types of bosses in Elden Ring is far superior to anything that Hogwarts developers could even imagine, I guess, because they have you fight the same 5 things for 20 hours in that game. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. So, what I'm saying is, basically, is that if you could merge the games and make them both better games. But Elden Ring is far, much more of a game than Harry Potter is. If only you could bully people in Elden Ring. Yeah, the 3 or 4 times the game let me bully a small child was pretty hilarious. I appreciated it. Wow, okay. J Bobby with the 11-month Twitch Prime resubscription. Thanks so much, Jay. Are there any other Souls? Are there any other games that have gotten similar enjoyment than the Souls series has given you? Neo. I love Rockstar games. GTA 5, Red Dead Redemption 2, especially. Excuse me, I'm having trouble breathing here. You took my breath away. I also think Returnal was really good. In terms of smaller made games, Thymesia and Mortal Shell were very good games, I thought. Though, again, they were small, but good for what they were. Is Neo the best Souls-like? No, Bloodborne's the best Souls-like. Overall, I believe. I think Bloodborne, Sekiro, and Neo 2 are the top tier. I do personally believe that Bloodborne edges the two of them out overall, while the other two do excel at other things and beat out Bloodborne individually in some categories. But overall, I think Bloodborne's still the best game ever made. How many run-throughs do you have? I've like 7,000 hours in this game. I've almost played it a full day in my life. A full year, I mean. Neo 2 is the best one, not made by From Software. Oh, definitely. Absolutely. Bro only speaks in facts. Yeah, I don't lie and I don't misrepresent the truth. And pretty much everything I say is factually correct on this stream. The Greedy, how's it going? Hey, Math Rigo. Soulsborne Ekaro rings. What the f— no way. I got hit by that? Okay. Okay. Certainly looked like I was a little bit past that dog there, but all right, Bloodborne. That's about time I stopped saying good things about you. Don't compare Bloodborne because it has no equal. Nah, I love comparing and contrasting things. I think it serves a great purpose. Is there a demo for Wolong? A demo for Wolong. There was one, and there will be another. I think the 24th, if I'm remembering correctly, the 24th will be the second demo for Wolong. I'm looking forward to Wolong. That's the only game coming out that I think I have excitement for. I could be wrong. I mean, there's other games in the future, but in terms of, you know, in coming out soon, I think Wolong's it. You love the gameplay? I thought it was really good. Not as good as Neo's, but I think I'll still have a ton of fun with it. Excited for Lies of P? I wouldn't say I'm excited for it. I'm gonna definitely play it. That's an ad. Will you be continuing Dead Space at all? Yes. I want to play Dead Space at night, though. So, yeah, that's just it. Dead Space is really awesome. I think they did a great job with it. It's spooky. I just want to play it at night. Like, when I played it that first day, it was really fun. But after a while, it just stopped kind of being like, I don't know, scary or anything, because it was daytime. It was daytime. I want to turn the lights out and kind of appreciate it spooky like. Make a dingy corner in your basement for spooky streams. We were supposed to be doing, you know, pinball streams and cooking streams already months ago. All these computer issues have gotten in the way majorly. Thoughts on Armored Core 6? I'll be playing it. I mean, Miyazaki and From Software, they've given me so many awesome games. I basically play whatever they release, regardless of what it is. I trust them. We're excited about GTA 6 after about 1,000 years. Listen, Rockstar might take a long time to make games, but when they make them, they're really good. So I don't mind that. I actually appreciate that more. John 8 with the 14-month resubscription. Thanks, John. Hit her with the R1, L1, L1 to stagger. Go over to her other limb, hit her with another R1, L1, L1 to stagger. We're not going to take the visceral, we're going to hit her with an R1, L1, staggering L1, L1 for extra damage. Transform back, hit the head once, lock on, and take the visceral. This is going to reset her stamina points, so we're going to go back to the original side we hit her at, and hit her with an R1, L1, staggering L1, L1 for extra damage. She's not going to hit me this time. Instead, she's going to step back and hit me with her chin. Watch the boop. There's the boop. Hit her with 3 R1s because we're at full beast meter. That's going to stagger. Oh, she transformed instead. That was dastardly. That was dastardly. That's a very rare thing she did right there. If she doesn't do that in time, you kill her quick there, but she did it. Thanks, Marzi. The play-by-play is immaculate. Yeah, I used to do a lot of play-by-play on the stream, and then I got lazy. That was uncharitably done. I catch that reference. Everybody knows you have the best references. Arthur Morgan in Red Dead Redemption 2 is emo. I didn't really think he was emo. I mean, he's got internal. I mean, he's got a lot going on, man. He's got internal conflicts. But to categorize Arthur Morgan in Red Dead Redemption 2 as emo, that's just, I don't know. I don't agree with that. I don't agree. To me, he's a man. He's very much a man. You know. I think one problem with modern games is going for 30 to 40 hours long. See, that's a symptom, okay? That's not a cause. That's not a cause. That's a symptom. So the cause is that they make games that aren't games, right? They're more focused on the story and the cutscenes and walking from point A to point B, giving you fetch quests. And this takes a lot, those things take a lot of time. A lot of time. So then you end up with a game that has about 5 hours of gameplay and 35 hours of doing nothing or holding forward, climbing, watching cutscenes, stuff like that. That's the issue. That's the issue. Andre Brandow with the 9-month Twitch Prime resubscription. Enjoy your brand new slug baby. Make sure you slime it every single day. Bugs Bunny with the 3-month resubscription as well. Thanks, Bugs. Oh, let's use this. So let us get our weapon upgraded here. This is BL4, so I cannot upgrade myself. We get a +4, and we have 2 gems we could put on. The 2 gems, if you don't know, one of them gives us extra attack at full HP, and the other gives us extra attack against beasts. Can't do that. Can't do that. It's BL4. You mean you aren't a fan of non-stop cutscenes and feeling like you're in tutorials 20 hours into the game? That's the thing, dude. I played it for 20 hours and it was still tutorializing me. I couldn't believe it. Still tutorializing me after 20 hours? It's insane. It's actually insane. Aren't we at 10, though? Wait, we're at 10? No! We're at 10! Oh my god! We'll restart the whole thing. We'll restart the whole thing. Fine. God damn it. Blood level 10. You know what? We're continuing. It's not Jabate. It's a BL10 run. It's BL10. I said no leveling. I didn't say BL4. Dark Scatter with the 22-month Twitch Prime resubscription. Thank you so much, Dark. Adapt and overcome. We didn't level? We don't need to level. What did you eat? I didn't level anything. I literally have not. I'm using the word literally correctly. I'm not using the word literally as a figuratively word. I'm figuratively using literally as a figurative literal word, okay? The correct meaning. I literally did not level. It started off this way. No leveling. You should add some kind of handicap to compensate. You know what that actually reminds me of? Mr. Beast. If you guys don't know, the biggest YouTuber in the world is a guy called Mr. Beast. I think he's made $1 billion, right? Biggest YouTuber in the world. He produces videos like $3-4 million, right? And still makes money. He did this video where he got together a team of doctors and they cured 1,000 people who had curable blindness. He organized 1,000 people getting cured from blindness. Okay? And I just read an article from TechCrunch about how that's ableist, because to even insinuate that there's something wrong with a blind person is ableist culture, and it'll make them feel bad, and you should just let them live how they want to live. Freaking nerds. How does this website exist? How does this journalist exist? I cannot stand. I'm going crazy, guys. You might have noticed. It's the tragic downfall of Jesus. I'm going absolutely insane because the entire world is full of baboons. Baboons. The guy he found a way. It's like all the people saying people. They give homeless people food, but they're exploiting them because they're making money on TikTok. The idea that you can find a way in this life to make money for yourself and your family while giving back to other people, literally curing people of blindness, and you still get trashed for it, I can't take it anymore. Like I said, I'm going insane. I can't take humanity. Bring on the nukes. I'm done. I don't want to be here anymore. Nutbags. Stokesy boy with the 11-month Twitch Prime resubscription. Now I'm angry. I was in a good mood. You help a customer and come back to the middle of the rant? In the middle of the rant. And he said,
"You're the best blind people in the world, or I'll eat your souls."
I'm offended because y'all offended. Dude, I think everyone should just yell at each other and offend everybody now. Just we should become a society that is offensive. Let's go on the offense. Forget about this defensive society. We need to be offensive in every situation. What's the best defense? A better offense. That's how you win. Look at the Super Bowl. None of those teams could stop each other if you watch that boring-ass game. I can't stand football these days. Not one defense could stop the other one, but every time they just scored. So this is my true home. Sadly, I'm being sick today. Aw, man, I hope you get better. Everyone on every political spectrum gets easily offended about something. It's not even just politically. It's just people in general, Marcy. I think politics it's like a magnifying glass. It has the effect of enhancing everybody's emotional reactions because the stakes are higher, I would say. But it's just culture in general. even with video games, with book critiques, it exists everywhere. People are babies. Eating each other has to be the only way. Yeah, but the thing is, I only eat organic, and I know a lot of you aren't organic. Hey, Uber Willow, how's it going? Fat phobic, about to start going to the gym? Oh, bro, I'm fat. Like, I went on the scale at the doctor the other day, and I thought I was losing weight, and I was gaining weight. So I've actually... I have an app that tracks all the food that I'm eating, so I can do things, you know, in my face and scientifically, because obviously I'm incapable of doing it on my own. Yeah, definitely have gained too much weight. I was gonna work out this morning, but I woke up super late again because I'm freaking a child. And I can't wake up on time. I don't know what's happened to me. You have organs, though? How do I get more points to get Zeus to yell at me? If you subscribe to the channel, you get points faster. If you subscribe tier 3, you get them even faster.
Well, how quaint.
Hello? Oh, that hurt. You got me. You're offended by people who aren't subbed? Oh, me too, Marcy. Especially. Controlled Chaos with the 3-month Twitch Prime resubscription. Thanks so much, Controlled Chaos. What kind of workouts do you do? Basically, well, right now I'm gonna be doing like body weight exercises with a time component. So like, think like push-ups, squats, sit-ups. Doing a certain amount of them for a specific amount of time. Then once I can handle my own body weight again, I'll start lifting weights and doing some Olympic weightlifting, squats, deadlifts, clean and jerks, shoulder presses, all those sorts of things. I like to bike a lot for cardio. Swole Zeus. I mean, I used to be, but you know, back in the good old days, but the good old days were a long time ago. Dwayne at Sundown with the 54-month resubscription. 4.5 years, time to get married? No, you got at least 20, 30 more to go. All I do is lift large pizzas to eat them. Ah, pizza sounds so good. Walking to the fridge is an exercise? It is, actually, and my app tracks the amount of steps. So it tells me if I take, like, the other day I had like 9,000 or 10,000 steps, so I was allowed to eat some more. I mean, I didn't, but I was allowed to. That made me feel better. All in all, Zeus, you look a lot healthier now, dude. Mitch posted a clip from 2 years ago, and I know you were still recovering. Oh, like from my surgery? Yeah, I mean, that took a while for me to... I was in bad shape for a while back then. Toxic Joker with the 8-month resubscription. Thanks, Toxic. I'm addicted to you. All right. That's gonna hurt. Scooch. We took the girlfriend's dog out yesterday? What did the dog do to offend you so much that you had to take it out? Stop it. Oh my god. This guy's being so annoying. Dude, this is honestly the most annoying. Like, sometimes shadows are super annoying, and that's exactly what it looks like. One guy just is constantly stepping back so you can't hit him, and then the other guy is just spamming a stupid snake attack repeatedly. Oh, it happens rarely, but sometimes it's just so annoying. In school, I do 15,000 steps a day at least. Now probably more like 8 to 10. Let me actually, hold on. Let me put my phone in my pocket. Let's get some steps in. Sleepless Owls, thanks for the 100 bits. Ah, yes, Fahrenheit. We changed it to freedom. Meow. Sleepless Owls, thanks for the 100 bits. What am I doing here? I'm getting the key. Maria Lichiavi. Are you using a standing desk? Not so much a standing desk as a normal desk with a bunch of books piled in the corners and then a flat top on top of that and some shoe boxes on top of that. But if you want to call it a standing desk, we can. That counts. Works for me. What was your review of Hogwarts? Oh, Mitch, you're already the best. Let's shoot her in the booty. Hit her with the beast blood pellets. Hit this spider. Roll forward. L1 that spider. We got vomited. That's okay. Did you see what that spider did? That spider literally just moonwalked to me Michael Jackson style. And then blasted whatever nonsense that was out of its ass. What the hell? What the hell? I'm not doing a lot of... Oh, yeah, this is BL4, you doofus. I'm not doing as much damage as I normally do. Yeah, it's BL4. No, it's BL10. It's not BL4, it's BL10, my bad. I gotta use another pellet. And another electro. That was close. No, bro, the lingering hitbox. No. The lingering hitbox. That was awful. That's two, honestly, dude, that's 2 hitboxes that Bloodborne has totally screwed me on today. Ton of Gun with the 7-month resubscription. Thanks, Ton. Are you gonna play Wild Hearts? Never even heard of it. What kind of game is it? You brought up a game earlier, Returnal, I believe. What kind of style game is it? It's a third-person bullet hell shooter. with some melee components as well. It's actually pretty cool. Still no stagger? Really? I thought that would have staggered. That was a lot of damage. I'm dead. Can't survive. Oh, man. Rough. Easy world record. Definitely a D-Rust. Well, do I even... I don't even have... I don't have anything anymore. Gehrman's Scythe is so good. Yeah, it's a cool weapon. I like Gehrman's Scythe. Can I sell anything here? Yes, I can. I should probably change my clothes too. Jeez. Should have leveled up my weapon earlier, but you know, why do things the right way when you could do them the wrong way? Try again. Pro MD with the 11-month resubscription. Thanks, Pro. Did you finish the Dead Space remake? No, I didn't finish it yet. I want to play it at nighttime, man. Playing it in the day just kind of lost its appeal for me. I want to play it in the dark. In the dark dead of space. Hey, Hosen. Hey, BBQ. Hey, boo-boo. Wow, he went over the top and I still missed him. Good damage this time. There we go. What I should have done in the beginning. Oh my god, dude, did you see that? They tried to nerf me right at the end. I don't know if Wild Hearts would be your kind of thing, but I've got gameplay if you want to see it at some point. Looks Monster Hunter-ish. Oh, who makes that? I know what you're talking about now. There's like another Monster Hunter game coming out. Now, is it the same one as the one made by Team Ninja, or is it a different company? Is it a different one? Oh, it's not Team Ninja, it's Koei Tecmo. So it's the same big house or whatever it is. Haunted panels with the 10-month resubscription. Thanks, Haunted. Yeah, Koei Tecmo made Dynasty Warriors. They did. I never played that, though. The devs are Omega Force. That is the nerdiest name you could ever come up with. I'm so dead. For a name of a development team. And these are the nerds. These are them. I'm getting my ass kicked today. Absolutely kicked. I love it. It's like Monster Hunter, but it looks more fun. Need to watch more gameplay. It probably will be a lot more fun. I hope so, anyway. Monster Hunter's fun, though. My issue with Monster Hunter is that they just reskin everything. They make new games, they don't make new weapons, they barely make new enemies, barely make new bosses, and just redo everything they did in the last game. You sounded like Trump there for a second. These are the nerds. These are them. The very big nerds. Oh, Trump. Yeah, like 7 new monsters in the game just isn't enough. No, it's not. It's just a letdown. Dude, with Monster Hunter Rise, I remember there was like this bear enemy that did the same exact like 3-hit combo as another enemy from an earlier part of the game, and I was so disappointed. It looks so bad. Literally just reskinning enemy models and just applying different textures to them and shipping that out. I can't respect it. I just can't. We have the best nerds America has to offer, the best. I mean, we do. Our nerds are the best. Monster Hunter for me, it's like hit it a few times and the monster runs away. Go after him and repeat. Yeah, like so the whole chasing the monster thing, it loses its appeal after a while. It does. I do think the fights in Monster Hunter tend to take a little bit too long. I wouldn't mind them running away so much if there was a really cool way to traverse the level and chase them. But usually that's not the case. You know, you're just running and following a point on the mini-map. It's not really dynamic in any way. Gotta go big exam tomorrow. Knock it out, man. Study. What do I need? you can get down with Monster Hunter World with friends. It's just a turn brain off game. I mean, I can't argue with that.
You're dumb if you play Monster Hunter.
From all the gameplay I've seen of Monster Hunter, the goal is to harass the monster until it starves to death. I love how you could trap a monster and then you could like harvest its parts. Like its legs, like horns and wings and stuff. Seriously Surly with the 34-month resubscription. Thank you so much. That was the scariest thing I've ever done in my life. Beat it in the face with a hammer for 12 minutes, then capture it and take it home with you. What's wrong with that? You know me. With Monster Hunter, I don't complain about the gameplay. I really don't. I do think that fights take a little bit too long in a lot of instances. I don't like the whole, gameplay loop of, oh, now you're really under-leveled and you gotta farm the same monster 1,000 times in order to fight the other new monsters. I don't like stuff like that. I don't like the reskins, but the gameplay is not something that I complain about, really. Except the Clutch Claw. The Clutch Claw is awful. That was terrible. I hated that thing. The wire bug was really cool, though. $691 damage. Booty slap, booty slap, booty slap, booty slap. It's Valentine's Day tomorrow. Am I going to be your Valentine? Fights are big time gear dependent. You can build yourself to completely bully them though. Yeah, but I don't, that's me. It's I call that RPGZ, right? It's not my skill that is carrying me through the game. It's my gear. It's my gear. And you could eventually get good enough gear where it doesn't require any skill. And you could have bad enough gear where it requires 100% skill. And I'm coming to not really like that in games. I like Sekiro, how Sekiro is. Like, it's more contained. There's some variability allowed based on, whether or not you go to Harada early or not. That'll change the difficulty. But outside of that, certain bosses have certain damage thresholds. Unless you start using Yashiriko's Sugar and Divine Confetti, then everything's super easy. I didn't even mention Mortal Draw. Mortal Draw is so goddamn OP. Hey, Seeker. Let's just go upgrade the weapon real quick. Finally tried and finished Sekiro. Very different from the other Souls game, but very pleasant to play and fun to learn. Bloodborne's still the best game. Yeah, I love Bloodborne a little bit more than Sekiro, but I love Sekiro so much. So much. Hey, Seeker, good to see you. You think Sekiro is the magnum opus of From Software? I don't think From Software's magnum opus has come out. Viva, good morning. You finally started watching The Sopranos? You've never seen The Sopranos? What are you, racist against my culture? Yes, I am. I knew it. That's why you always make jokes about me and harass me and stuff. Yo, I've been watching The Offer. I forget which streaming service it's on, but look it up, guys. The Offer. It's all about the making of the Godfather movie. Mario Puzo, Francis Ford Coppola, you got Marlon Brando, all those guys. Joe Colombo, Gallo. If you don't know the story behind it, I really recommend the watch. It's really great from an Italian American culture perspective. But it's a good watch. You definitely just listed sandwich ingredients. I said I didn't say Capicola. I didn't say that. Never watched The Godfather, gang? How have you never seen The Godfather? What is wrong with you?
Cast.
The Godfather is one of the best movies ever made.
Do you hear, Rob?
I personally think it's time to bring the Mafia back. Police are crazy, government's crazy. The Mafia is the only thing that could bring it back. Discotomy with the 12-month resubscription. Enjoy your golden aura. Enjoy your big black Z because you have ascended. Thanks for the whole year of support, you legend. Did you just do that to me? Tiger Mouse with the brand new Twitch Prime subscription. Welcome in. Thanks for that brand new sub. Did you like The Many Saints of Newark? I haven't seen that. What's that about?
Oh, cos. Well, some say Cosmo.
Shadow Dragons with a 7-month resubscription. Thanks, Shadow. You can cheese Mikolash by shooting him from the ledge. Well, that didn't work.
Now I'm waking up. I'll forget everything.
There was a Sopranos. That was a Sopranos prequel movie. I've never heard of that. That reminds me of the Breaking Bad sequel movie. That was awful too. El Camino. I didn't really like that. I felt like it was completely unnecessary. What Breaking Bad sequel movie? Yeah, El Camino. It has James Gandolfini's son in it playing young Tony Soprano, but it's mostly about Christopher's dad. Christopher! You better. If you want to watch a mafia movie, you need to watch Goodfellas. I mean, Goodfellas, Donnie Brasco. You got The Godfather. Favorite movie of all time? I don't know. Favorite movie for me is hard. Casino? I haven't seen Casino. Who's in Casino? Not specifically a mafia movie, but they're involved, but Boondock Saints. Okay. Joke of the day. Joke of the day. I appreciate it. Thank you for making me laugh about Boondock Saints. Best part of El Camino was just seeing something good happen to Jesse for once. Why should something good ever happen to Jesse? I love how people moralistically they give Jesse a pass, but then they call Walt evil. I love that. I love that. Blue Storm with the 15-month resubscription. Thanks so much, Blue Storm. Boondock Saints is one of your favorites? I mean, Boondock Saints is a silly, childish action movie. There's no depth to that movie at all. What's wrong with Boondock Saints? What's right with it? It's like saying like a James Bond movie is your favorite movie. I mean, okay, like yeah, it's just a silly action movie, man. There's nothing like it can't. Like Major League is one of my favorite movies, right? You could like it. There's nothing wrong with liking it, right? But it's not. It's silly. It's silly. That's all. It's not a serious movie. It's as serious as 300? Yeah, it's a dumb, stupid action movie. I'm not even disparaging it there. That's just all it is. This is how people react when I say basketball is your favorite movie. Well, it's how people should react because it's a stupid movie. But people like stupid things. It's human nature. Or maybe it's not human nature and it's just our culture. Huh. Scooch. Sicario is one of your favorites? That sounds good. It sounds Italian. What's it about? I really regret not getting a Beast Blood pellet for this fight. I really regret it. Sicario! That hit me from way back when? One of your favorite movies of all time is Inception. Inception's fun, man. Inception's cool. It's completely different, right? It does its own thing. It's a very unique movie, so I appreciate it. It's a very unique movie. Pretty interesting sci-fi. Are you going to do DLC? I always do DLC. That's an ad just for asking. No idea why I'm not subbed yet again, but I stuck you on my Prime last week. Twitch is a nightmare on mobile. You can't... I don't think you can Prime sub on mobile. No, you didn't miss the bus. You're good. So I need Beast Blood pellets here. So we're going to go to the Forbidden Woods and pick some up. That makes sense. Inception inspired me to buy more suits. What sharply dressed people. My issue with suits always has been that I'm poor. That's my only issue with suits. Because all suits that I've ever worn in my life are definitely like not nice suits, not nice shirts, because that stuff is super expensive. And I don't like the way dress shirts feel. They make my nipples chafe. So I've never... I look amazing in suits because... Look at me. I'm a god. But those nipples. Zeus once wore his birthday suit on stream. It was blue. I did. I forgot I did that. Mitch, I'm pretty sure I can't fit into that suit anymore. That's the nicest suit that I ever had, though. It was this nice blue linen Ralph Lauren. That was my nicest suit. I think it was like $300, which is nothing for a suit, actually. That was my nicest. Zeus suit riot. I'd wear suits on stream if I thought that it would actually pose me some sort of benefit. You could make a tie with your beard, though. Well, that's the thing. It's pointless for me to wear a tie at this stage in my life. With my beard, you'd never even see the tie. There's no point in me wearing a tie at all. No point. That's a cheap shirt. If you get nipple burn on your shirts, has to be pure cotton. The touch, the feel of cotton. You really don't like wearing ties? I do, because you can sort of choke yourself a little bit, and a little light choking goes a long way. It goes a long way. Heal action. A planted bomb. Planted lamb. I don't know why I call you planted bomb sometimes. It just happens. Oh, speaking of UFOs, what do you guys think about all the balloons and UFOs we're shooting down? China's hilarious. It's because you not so secretly wanted to bomb the planet? Oh, I totally would if I could. Chinese spies? Yeah, that's the great thing. That's the amazing thing about it. That Chinese satellites aren't like the idea that China would need to send a balloon to spy on whatever it needs when it has satellites is really kind of, it makes me wonder what they're exactly capable of. You know, are they just testing our air defense systems? If that's the case, fine. But do they really need those balloons? Like, are there? In case you don't know, spy satellites these days can read a gravestone from like 120,000 miles up in the air, or something like that. They can literally read gravestones. So the fact that China is sending balloons, it's kind of funny. Ugh. Just misguided weather balloons. I like how everyone's believing the Pentagon after they royally fracked up the drone strike in Afghanistan. Maybe their satellites are not so HD. Well, that's the implication. That's the implication. Stuff like that happens all the time, though. You know, that countries are constantly, you know, checking on your airspace, see if you're defending it properly. Where are we going? What are we doing? We're equipping these. That's what we're doing. There we go. I don't say it's aliens, but aliens. It's definitely not aliens, although there probably are some aliens. They thought we wouldn't notice. They conspired with J.K. Rowling and we were distracted by Hogwarts Legacy. That's one conspiracy theory that I don't believe in. All of our HD TVs come from China. I'm sure their satellites are too. I mean, not... So, like, China... One thing China's really good at is, Now, this was a few years ago. I don't know if we've improved it all, but... For instance, like... Networking, like mobile networking systems, China was like the world leader for a while. And we would literally have them build our mobile satellites and whatnot, because they did such a great job with them. I don't think we're purchasing our spy satellites from them, though. What's your favorite conspiracy theory? Oh, that's easy. The Great Pyramids of Giza were built long before Zahi Hawass and other idiot Egyptologists think that they were built. And that there was a different civilization on this planet that got wiped out by lots of comets during the Younger Dryas period, which triggered the Ice Age and reset humanity. That's my favorite. Frack! He got me? He got me. Do you believe in the stoned ape theory? Well, it's more of a hypothesis because it hasn't been tested. So I don't think it's actually a theory. It bears some weight. It bears some weight. There's a lot of a link between, you know, hallucinogenic mushrooms and consciousness. It's something that I could think about, but is it testable? Randall Carlson, yeah. Randall Carlson. Among others. Graham Hancock was the first person that exposed me to it. But lately there's been lots of actual real science about it, not just, you know, speculation. You know, this one guy on the internet thinks that. But there's been a lot of real science going into it these days. Have you taken LSD, mushrooms, or DMT? No, I have not. Believe it or not, my amazing understanding of consciousness and the human element has come completely without any mind-altering mushroom. This world is the planet of the apes? I mean, with the way things are going, we're probably not far away from it. Well, that was a one-shot. I really like that Robert Schoch, the Sphinx Pit Water guy, is getting real credit these days. Dude, it's like, see, that to me, that's, once I had read that stuff and I looked up what erosion over rocks typically looks like, right? And from real geology books and on the internet, and you compare the geology of the rocks around the encampment that the Sphinx is in to every textbook out there, it's the same exact thing. And Robert Schoch goes on and he says, well, obviously this is water erosion. And people are like, no, it can't possibly be water erosion because Zahi Hawass says that it's not. You prefer your geology fake? A reset might not be bad, just return to worshipping the obelisk. The science they're doing in the Amazon with those planes and lasers picking up cities under the ground, the LiDAR, right? If you don't know what he's talking about, you could look it up. They basically take these LiDAR cameras, scan, they fly over the rainforest, and the LiDAR punctures into the ground, and you're able to get this nice topography of basically what's under the trees and the grasses, all the stuff you can't really see because it's so overgrown. And we've found so many new Mayan temples and step pyramids and all this crazy stuff, like hundreds of them. The Mayan civilization, or not, maybe not the Mayans, but the whatchamacallit. Oh my God. Did I just die 3 times in a row here because I'm trying to have a conversation? I did. What's the civilization, the ancient civilization in the rainforest? My brain's not working right now. What is it? Now the Mayans are in Central America. Is it the Incans? Oh, the Aztecs. Which one is it? Incans are Peru. Aztecs are Mexico. Is this just another group of people then? Hold on. Or was it in Brazil? Mayans are Central America. Aztecs were Mexico. Incas were Peru. Alabamians, that's what it is. Thank you. Alabamians. We got it. We got it. The ancient Alabamians. Can I not die here? Thank you. That's all that I'm asking for. Double kill. All right, that was a little bit of a fight. Finally caught you when I'm not busy. Hope it's going well now. Welcome in, man. It's hard to catch Zeus. He can't stream 2 days in a row. That freaking doofus on Twitter. Freaking doofus on Twitter. Oh my god. I get a lot of doofuses on Twitter. I mean, if he said that about me like the previous week or the week before, sure. But I literally streamed every day that week. I don't know why, but that comment made me laugh so hard. It's just because it's a child, bro. Like, if you've been paying attention to my stream, you know that Hera has been having a really bad time with a lot of medical issues, which is why I've taken so much time off and my channel is dying. I understand. I understand. But to write something like, I can't stream 2 days in a row, I'm such a terrible streamer, in the wake of all that, is just so rude and disrespectful. It's so freaking disgusting. They just want a reaction? Well, they're not getting one. BL4 looks so easy. It's easy when I do it, that's for sure. Maybe next time we do this, I'm going to do BL4 no buffs. And we're going to actually make it difficult. Because like this, it's obviously not difficult. Oh yeah, this is BL10. Thanks, Predator. This is BL10. No leveling. This is no leveling. No leveling. Is that the hardest run? The hardest run, technically speaking, would probably be a blood level negative 1000 or negative 544 with a Bloodborne randomizer on max new game. BL4, no buffs, no healing, no rolling. Blindfolded, fist only. With a dildo up your butt. No, that would make it easier. No dildo. Is this basically a no-hit run with how little health you have? Not every hit will kill me, but most will. Got just a minute of running here. Did you see Dis use different run weapon on every Elden Ring boss? He definitely channels his inner Zeus at one point where he says, that's why I'm doing the run and you're in chat. I like to think that some of my attitude is starting to rub off on Dist. Blaze Mex with the 7-month resubscription. Thanks, Blaze. Wow, I got the frenzy. Very nice. LSD with the 6-month Twitch Prime resubscription. Thanks, LSD. Poor Amygdala. Kareem Amygdala.
LeBron is better.
Anything else? Oh, Canehurst. Canehurst. Not functioning? What do you mean not functioning? What does that mean? Tomorrow, do you guys want me to play Dark Souls 3, or Elden Ring? What do you want me to play? Dark Souls 2. Ooh, another DS2 run? Maybe a whole new tour through Dark Souls. We'll do Dark Souls, DS2, DS3, then DS4? Maybe. Kamisato with a 2-month resubscription. Thanks, Kamisato. Oh, Jesus Christ, she just...
Few hunters can resist the intoxication of the hunt. Look at you. Just the same as all the rest. The hunters must die. The nightmare must end. Only I can stop this madness.
The beast cannot be stopped! What good are hunters now? Your blood is mine!
The hunt
No!
makes hunters mad.
What? Your blades can't even reach that far! Cheater. Cheater. Hey, Daddy D-Town. Yeah, I play Bloodborne on the PS5. I'll play everything on PlayStation 5. Everything. And even if I have an option to play a game on PC, I'll choose PS5 over it because of all the games that have released lately simultaneously on PS5 and PC, they've always run better on PS5. So until that changes, I'm a PS5 master race kind of guy. Excuse me. Just got your PS5, it's amazing. It is. It's a great system. It just needs more exclusive games. That was a nice move.
The hunt makes hunters mad.
This is hard getting 2-hit by her. I can't make any sort of mistake. Mr. Humble with the 5-month Twitch Prime resubscription. Thanks, Mr. Humble. Why not just ignore her quest? Why the murder? Because she's harder than the bosses, honestly, at this point. I just murdered like 4 bosses in a row. Super easy. Let me get more blood. No, I haven't finished Sekiro Resurrection yet. The issue I have with PS5 is I can't connect Bluetooth headphones to it. Haven't heard that one yet. There's a Bluetooth menu in PS5. Yeah, I know the controller's Bluetooth. I use my PC headset and connect to the charging station with an auxiliary to the DualSense. There you go. Chris Eleazar, thanks for the 25-month resubscription. Thanks, Chris. Phone manufacturers are trying to kill the auxiliary port and you hate it.
The hunt makes hunters
Oh, wow.
mad.
Okay. Good job. Just use a cable into your controller. She's impeccable. I'm not fighting her right. I'm trying to outpace her and I just gotta outsmart her. See? Outsmart her.
Monsters. All hunters must die.
Zeus, why don't you stream? I really miss your streams. I streamed... See, I'm starting to think I'm getting shadow banned. now I'm thinking I'm shadow banned. Am I not appearing in your guys' feeds? Because I've heard that way too much recently. Now I'm getting kind of concerned. Has Twitch shadow banned me? Yeah, I streamed all last week. No, you don't. I don't see you. I don't even see you streaming right now. Are you being serious, Rex? I can never tell. Like in your feed, or are you just, you know, being sarcastic? You're dead serious? I mean, I believe you. I see you, still don't get notifications, though. My notifications for your stream shut off by themselves twice in the past month. Yeah. Fix your damn P.O. box. I gotta ship you something that I need. All right. Zeus, what keeps you coming back to Bloodborne? The amount of subs I get during my stream. I know what it is. You want to set up that PO box for sure. It's just that like I can't stream and get to like the post office closes basically at 4, so I can't stream and get there. That's the issue. And I've gone 3 times already, and these idiots, they just it's local government. You know, they don't. Watch Twitch every day for 7 days straight. Haven't seen you once. Why is getting free stuff so annoying? It's not that. It's not that. It's just that I've already tried to do this 3 times, and I'm pissed off about it. That's all. That's all. It's not like it's not your fault. Tell Hera if you trust me to your address, I'll start making your mortgage payments. All right, that's a deal. Zeus, maybe a lore through of Bloodborne anytime soon. A lore through? No. Never. Okay, maybe one day. Put on a GoPro and stream your trip to the post office. That sounds really great, except for the fact that I live in Nowheresville, and internet service via a mobile phone is the most unreliable thing on the planet over here. Did you farm some gems? No. I just started a new playthrough. They just want you to dox yourself? I mean, it's... Listen, if you have any sense in the world, it's fairly easy to find out where people live. I mean, it just is. It's very easy. Tickets! Tickets, please!
Seatbelts, everyone! Please let this be a normal field trip. With a friend? No way!
Cruising on down Main Street, you're relaxed and feeling good. Next thing that you know, you're seeing octopus in the neighborhood, surfing on a sound wave, swinging through the stars. Take a left at human testing, take your second right past Mars on the magic scuba, alligator nostril. Climb on the magic scuba, spank a plankton too. On our magic scuba, drop the river of lava. On magic scuba, such a fine thing to do. So strap your bones right to the sea. Come on in and don't be shy. Just to make your day complete. You might get baked into a pie on the magic scuba. Step inside, it's a wilder ride. Come on, right on the magic scuba.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed your ride on the Magic School Bus today. Buzzo with the ticket. Fresh Veggies with the ticket and a half. That still counts as one. Cloud-tastic with the ticket. Shadow Wind with the triple ticket. Uber Willow. NF Tim with the double. Sir Charles with the bus pass. Lord Nikon with the quadruple ticket. Haunted Panels with the quintuple ticket. Predator, Frankie Baxter with the triple ticket. Chapel Dweller, aka Rex with the Deca quintuple .13 ticket. No, Cento. Cento, not Deca. Cento. 100. Oh, that's a lot of money. Cento. Cento quintuple. 0.13. Doesn't count. 0.13 means nothing to me. Thanks so much, Rex. You goddamn legend. Hey, there's not enough... Bro, guys, there's no Jesus suckages. Marcy's sucking. M4's sucking. Only 3 people are sucking off AKA Rex right now. Come on. We have the best animated emote on Twitch. All I request is when someone gives me a lot of money, you suck them off. I'm not asking for a lot. Excuse me, I was the first to suck him? Yeah, but you're too easy, so... Much better. Thanks so much, Rex. Yeah, Mitch, you're an easy sucker. Whatever that means. When you're older, you'll understand. What the mother of... Not an easy sucker. Hard to suck. Hard at... Never suck... No. I've died way too many times on this run. Way too many. Is this BL4? No, it's BL10. But we're not leveling. No idea what that means, but I'm just glad to be a part of something. Fair enough. Didn't you used to be good at the game? Oh, here's what happened, Newman. I no longer care anymore. Totally, I mean, it is the sad truth, though. Finally, Bloodborne, I can't see Hogwarts Legacy anymore. Yeah, Hogwarts lasted as long as on my channel, just as a fact of pure desperation. Like, maybe it'll get better and I'll enjoy it. Let's just hope and pray. Just hope and pray. Fortunately, prayers are useless. And they do absolutely nothing. Hope is ill-conceived and is meaningless. Let's try this again. I'm enjoying it, but it'd be an awful game to watch a stream of. Hey, I agree, but that game is like all the rage on Twitch, man. Oh man, I've only had 1 cup of coffee today. I need more. Doblerist with the 31-month resubscription. Thanks, Doblerist. Hey, Zeus, love your videos. Hey, I appreciate that, man. You miss coffee? What happened to it? Why aren't you drinking it? Eating Tide Pods were all the rage, but that doesn't make it cool. Okay, is that a real thing that happened? I might make a living on the internet, but I pay attention to the internet far less than most people do. And that's really the truth. So I know about Tide Pods, but were people actually eating them? And what was happening to them? Why were they doing it? Explain in a well-constructed paragraph the whole Tide Pod craze, please. Scooch. Scooch. Perfect. Wasn't it basically a TikTok challenge? I don't think TikTok was around back then, or at least I didn't have it. I could be wrong though. Way before TikTok? I thought so. The nightmare swirls and churns unending for me, so placing myself in space-time is often hard. Did that guy's message get deleted for saying Bloodborne Remaster? Yeah, as someone who's streamed Bloodborne like 7,000 hours, I get a lot of the same questions, and I'm tired of reading them every single day of my life. So I've told my mod to get rid of the questions and ask people very nicely not to ask me those things because I'm going to go insane having to respond to them 45 times. If I responded to that question, it'd probably be 50, 60 times every single day of my life. Bloodborne 2, Bloodborne sequel, Bloodborne prequel, Bloodborne remaster, Bloodborne on PC. Can't do it anymore, man. Megaphone Crooner with the 21-month resubscription. Thanks so much, Megaphone. We need answers. I get it, but I need sanity. Your Bloodborne looks like it's running better on mine than on PS5. Oh, it does run better on PS5. I talked about this before. Digital Foundry did a whole like technical analysis and mock-up of why Bloodborne... What the frack, man? Why is it going that way? I'm trying to go outside of him, and it's going directly into him. That's weird. But anyway, Digital Foundry did a whole technical analysis explaining why the Bloodborne on PS5 wasn't a noticeable improvement on the PS4 version. And it's just wrong. It's wrong. It's completely wrong. Which is why I don't trust tech people anymore at all. Because you can use your technology and you can technically prove that something is the same or worse without it actually being the case. Bloodborne on PS5 runs much smoother than it does on PS4. It runs much smoother than it does on a PS4 with an SSD as well. Coxie Norm is with the 41-month resubscription. Thanks, Coxie. It's not a huge improvement, but there's definitely an improvement. Yeah. That's all I'm saying. Young Charmo with the 11-month Twitch Prime resubscription. Thanks, Young. Bloodborne still locked at 30 FPS? Yes. From Software would have to manually go in and rewrite a lot of the code because the game is tied. A lot of games are tied to the frame rate. So if you change the frame rate, a lot of things just don't work.
I missed the bus.
Thanks for the late ticket. New contract started today, and I use that term loosely because they haven't actually contracted me with any info on assessing their environment or the laptop they shipped me. So I'm not going to sit here and watch you stream and go full Milton as I make money hiding in the basement. Works for me. Sure, it works for you too. They probably did Central Yarnum and said nothing is different. I don't know what they did, man, but I watched the video and I was blown away just by how wrong they were. Because they were saying like definitive statements. It wasn't like they were being coy about it. Did you get Dead Space? I like the original, but love the remake. They did a phenomenal job with the remake. I've only played a few hours of it, and I'm going to go back to it during a nighttime stream relatively shortly. Are the people who made the 60 FPS Bloodborne patch professionals at coding? Lance, is he a professional? No, he's a hobbyist. It's not like he's getting paid by a game dev. But he probably could be. Wow, I don't understand. There we go. Took me long enough. That was a sus non-parry. Yeah, you know, I'm D-rusty, but whatever. I might have been just a little bit further than I thought I was. Parrying as he flies down at you is always so satisfying. That's why I wanted it, to make it look cool for you guys, but I'm rusty. I've been playing Harry Potter, you know? Give me a break. I mean, let's just buy some. Oh, let's... Nah, maybe I'll just buy this. I'll use Insight for this. Okay, all the optional stuff is done, right? It's time for the DLC. You know it. I really miss the God of War is factually better because Metacritic score got... Yeah, it's factually correct because more people agree with me than with you. Freaking morons. Cooking stream when? Ah, dude, I really apologize to you guys that we haven't had a cooking stream or a pinball stream. I ordered a computer from CyberPower PC. It was supposed to be delivered before Christmas. It got delivered weeks after Christmas and it didn't turn on. I sent it back. They sent it back weeks later. I turned it on once, turned it off, and it didn't turn back on again. They sent me a new power supply because that was the issue. I changed out the power supply. And guess what happened? The computer didn't turn on. So now I gotta wait for them to send me a shipping code because apparently they can't send that immediately. It's already been 3 days. Still no shipping code. So I gotta send the computer back, have them redo it, send it back to me. Freaking nonsense, man. We're supposed to be doing pinball streams and cooking streams all these past couple months. But nothing has worked out. Nothing. And it's literally derailed my entire content and my platform. Literally. Should have just had me build you a computer. Well, I didn't know that was an option. Ober said the same thing. You didn't offer. Shut up. Dude, you have an army of geeks. Everyone wants to offer after the fact, but when I was saying it for months and months, no offers were coming in. That's all I know. Hey, Katie. Good afternoon. Not to be a dick, but you need to call him out on it. I've already tweeted about it twice, man. I'll forever tell people about the experience. Do not buy from them. Just do not buy from them. That's all. That's all I could do. Tens of thousands of people have seen my experience on Twitter. So that's enough negative press, I'm sure. Did they offer you compensation? Bro, they won't even offer to ship it faster. Compensation. If I were to return it, right? They'd charge me like 15% for a restocking fee. Like it's BS. It's BS. Very little attempt to make it better. Oh, and dude, the one I actually hung up on the last time, I hung up on the tech rep. First off, I hated how he talked. I just didn't like the sound of his voice. But he asked me if the button, the power button, if I turned it on correctly, is the one, he asked me, is the 1 or the 0 pressed in? And I said, I know how to turn on a computer, man. Then he asked me again. Literally asked me again, is the 1 and the 0 pressed in? I know how to turn on a computer, dude. Is the 1 and the 0 pressed in? I know how to turn on a fracking computer. Move on. He moved on. Then he asked me for my order number. I said my order number. It was like U57649ST. He said, "Can you please repeat that? Some letters and numbers sound the same over the phone." I hung up on his ass. Not dealing with that. The next guy was much nicer. He wasn't American. He had an accent. Much more intelligent. So then, you know, a day or two goes by, and then I noticed that I had the button pressed in wrong, and then the computer turned on, and I'm using the computer right now. So my apologies to CyberPower PC. I mistakenly just didn't press the button. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm using myself as the I do this for entertainment. I'm kidding. I had it pressed in the right way. Had to do it. I had to do it. The joke was there. Might as well. Dying on a cross again. It's a consistent thing for me. Lil Wet Willie with the 4-month resubscription. Thank you so much, Lil Wet Willie. Rip into your heart. That's how you know society is not educated, right? When you have tech people who have to ask you if it's plugged in, who have to ask you if you turned it on properly, right? That's how you know society is filled with morons and needs to be better educated. Haven't been in here in a long time. How's your neck, head? Oh, much better. I got surgery on that a while ago. They took out one of my discs. They scooped it out with a hook. They put a cadaver bone in me, so I'm literally undead. I'm like 99% better now. Thanks for asking, man. What am I trying to do? What am I trying to do? Nothing. Just go to the DLC. I got nothing to do. Ors with the 22-month Twitch Prime resubscription. Thanks, Ors. Also, older people who didn't grow up with it. I don't, dude, I don't, listen. I don't, I understand, listen, I understand it. I get it. I get it. I understand it. But I'm talking about that it's a sad state of society that you have people who literally don't know how to turn on freaking computers, okay? I find that to be, if you cannot turn on a computer, you're a moron. I don't care what you did with your life. You're a moron. An absolute moron. I don't care how old you are. I don't care what you grew up with. You can't, if you can't turn on a computer, at least in that instance, you're being a dumbass.
I am a moron.
I'm not the smartest person in the world, okay? But I could turn a computer on. My mom didn't know you can right-click on a MacBook. That's what I mean, man. There's so many people that have no idea how anything works. Anything. That hurt a lot. That hurt a lot too. That hurt more. Got him. Dude, did I hit him? I didn't know you could hit him there. Wait, I stopped him from going up? That's pretty sick, actually. I'm dead. Oh, it didn't eat it? That sucks, actually. Daddy T-Town with the 2-month Twitch Prime resubscription. Thanks, Daddy. See you later, Eldritch. Have a good one, man. My father can't turn on a smartphone? No, that's not true. That's not true. Your father, like most men in his generation, quickly understood that pretending not to know how to do something would make it so that other people would just do it for you.
But beware the frailty of men, their wills are weak, blind.
I don't know how to clean. I don't know how to do the laundry. I can't cook. Yeah, you can. Freaking monkey can cook. You just don't want to. You just don't want to. Lurk time? Thanks for the lurks, man. That was legit my grandpa, bless his soul. See, my grandfather wasn't really that way. He really wasn't. Him and my grandmother did like start to learn how to do computer stuff. I was always better at him, but you know, he learned how to like check email and do all that stuff, you know, after a while. My friend simply bought me a new PC and just installed it for me. I hate your friend because he's not my friend. Or she. Whatever they are. I hate him, Kojawa! I want that friend! For real, are they not embarrassed? Imagine being like, I'm too dumb to wipe a counter. No, so you're not seeing it the right way. It has nothing to do with embarrassment. It's about power. It's about power. So like the feigning incompetence is a way of gaining power and getting other people to do things for you. So it's not going to be a cause for embarrassment because it's culturally acceptable. It was anyway. This will be on YouTube, most likely, because I haven't uploaded anything to YouTube in 70 years. My brother-in-law has been like that her whole life. Oh, mother-in-law. And acts like she's an invalid towards everything. Keep trying to tell my friend she refuses to believe someone would do that. I mean, I do that all the time, basically. I pretend to be really stupid on stream or I'll say things wrong just as a way to gain, like, chat engagement, right? Like, so, like you say something wrong or funny, right? And then someone's like, no, that's not how you say it. I do that on purpose all the time. Wrong way. Like Arthur Morgan is emo? Exactly. Exactly. No, you don't. You can also use this as a bluff when you actually don't know something so you don't get embarrassed. Dude, Lightman, you're actually kind of intelligent because that's what happens too. You start sometimes for entertainment pretending that you forget things, right? For entertainment. And then say if you forget something naturally, you could just write it off as that. So it creates this world where you're just basically right all the time. It's amazing. You see why someone who's a god, someone who's you know, an egotistical nightmare, someone who really, really wants power could utilize this, right? High-level metagame. Yo, Ross, thanks for the gifted subscription. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. What does emo mean? So when I was younger, there was a whole bunch of music that started... Music for a while was all about, you know, like sex, drugs, rock and roll. Parties, you know, living in America, stuff like that. Then music became a little bit more emotional. A lot of rock bands started talking about their feelings. Young people then listen to the music, really embrace the feelings, and then because they're young, they went really, 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 really far with it and started dressing a different way. I don't know exactly how it correlates with emotional music, but it started to be like a trend to be like half gothic, right? You would wear sort of black, skinny, tight clothes, and your hair would cover one eye. Maybe you'd wear like a couple belts or something. What else? What else? So a pirate. An effeminate pirate, yes. Instead of "Arr, mateys," it's "Your eyes." Something like that. That explains Jack Sparrow. Yeah, well, he's like the king actor of the emo movement. Hey. Insert My Chemical Romance code here. Ah. I have a dog licking my foot. Got her. You got stuck behind the bookcase, you little lady? Oh my god! She got me. Dude, how did she get me? My Chemical Romance, man, great days. I can understand people not liking My Chemical Romance, but what you have to give them is they're their own band, they're their own music. All of their albums are different from each other thematically. They really did something different than most artists are afraid to do.
Is that you?
Never forget when Zeus fought Maria in a randomizer and she didn't have a sword and was all, "Did you leave him in a well?" Gorillas are the king of that, though. I don't know, man. I think that's kind of disrespectful. I think My Chemical Romance are a lot better musicians than any group of Gorillas on the planet. I mean, they're subhuman primates. Can they even make music? What do you? I disagree. Give me a video of gorillas making music that is better than My Chemical Romance. I'm waiting. Stop licking my foot, you goober! Rory, Jesus Christ. Same analogy as give 100 monkeys a typewriter and infinite time. At some point, Shakespeare will be rewritten. No, that's a terrible analogy. It would never happen. It would literally never happen. That would never happen. You're not a fan of that one? No. It would never happen. I've heard that a million times in my life. It would never, ever happen. Even in infinite time, it would never happen. Each letter, each space is a variable.
Blasphemous murders.
How many letters are in? How many letters and spaces are in a Shakespearean play? I'm pretty sure that the math behind the statistics is basically it would be impossible. It'd be impossible. I don't like that one. It's possible though? No, it's not possible. It's not. Most of the monkeys wouldn't even play with the typewriter. How many monkeys does it take? Yeah, that's basically the same thing. Imagine saying that if you give a room of 100 monkeys, you know, the dev keys and all the coding power from software, and you give them access to all the tools. If you give them infinite time, they're gonna make Bloodborne exactly the way it is now. Please, that is arbitrary, useless. It's a thought experiment. It's not based in real reality. That is fake science. Fake science. Could 100 monkeys make Mortal Shell? No. And you know what? I'll bet any one of you. Any amount of money. That's what philosophy is, though? No, that's not philosophy. That's just a idea. That's what that is. It's a idea. It's not philosophy. Like 100 monkeys make DBD. Well, see, that's different because 100 monkey level intelligence humans already made DBD. It's a different situation. Oh, hold on, guys. Guess who wants some attention? Oh. The puppy Chula wants some attention. Oh, who's a good girl? Who's a good girl? Thank you. Oh, so good. Say hi, Rory. How's she doing? Great. It's almost her birthday. Guys, we're going to have a birthday party for Rory. You're going to be here February 22nd. It's her birthday. Girl. Yes, she is. Thank you. Oh, my God. Is she some kind of spaniel? She's a golden doodle with no furnishings and an improper coat. Wrong. I'm sorry, but you can't chew on that. Hey, Dies, how's it going? Got him. Just finished Demon Souls and Blue Point did an amazing job. Yeah, they did. A few missteps, but mostly it's just a phenomenal product. Zeus is going for a 50 win streak on Spirit later. Has DBD gotten any better? Does anybody even know? No, Zeus? No, never? I re-downloaded it, Nick. I haven't started it up yet, but I re-downloaded it. I mean, I got nothing to play. I'm freaking dying here, guys. When's Wolong come out? March? It's actually worse. I like watching you play DBD because you talk to us.
You don't talk to us when you play Bloodborne, you big mean streamer. Rah.
Nope. Elden Ring style combat. Zeus really makes every fight look like a dance. I try to play in a cool way. Does it get me killed sometimes? Yes. But it's worth it. First time I saw you on Steam? Stream, just saw your content on YouTube. Love it. Thanks, man. So, who do we have left? Just Orphan of Kaz and then the two nerds at the end, right? Oh, I already have the Lighthouse Hut? Well, let's go to the two nerds at the end first, then. There's a game coming out Friday? Wait, that's really this Friday? Oh, that's actually really nice. I thought that was going to be months away. Friday? Really?
What was it? The hunt? The blood? Or the horrible dream?
I thought that was going to be like years away. I thought that was going to be after Wolong, not before it. Ow. He tried to blow me. I'm dead. Shield doing work today? I've needed it. You know how it is. I'm always rusty after I play stupid Hogwarts games. And then go back to a good game like... Frack off, Bloodborne! I'm tired of saying nice things about you all the time. I'm tired of defending you in the face of the video game industry when there's absolutely nothing but nonsense all around me and I say a nice thing, and how do you reward me? How do you reward your number one player, your number one admirer, your number one fan, your number one proponent, your number one advertiser? You kill me every single time, and I love you for it. Thank you, never change. Oh, come on. I can't even see. Can't heal anymore. Okay. Hardest boss in the game right here. This is it. You had an open hot turkey sandwich with hickory smoked turkey. Now I'm hungry. Curious, but have you thought about a backup plan to your content if Bloodborne ever becomes irrelevant? I mean, it is irrelevant. I mean, it really is. One thing that I don't know exactly why, but after Elden Ring, Soulsborne content creators have seen, except for the biggest ones, talking about like the Dist, Hob, maybe a couple others. Everyone else, including myself, has seen a pretty big drop off in viewership. Soulsborne content on Twitch isn't really as big as it used to be after Elden Ring, which is really weird. It was really weird. I don't really. It's one of the things that I don't really understand. It's not even myself. It's not even myself. It's looking around the Twitchscape as well. Not sure why. It got more mainstream. Yeah, but what I'm saying is that before Elden Ring, there was a certain level. Then Elden Ring came, all the mainstream people came, all the channels blew up. Then it died down again, and it went below the level it was pre-Elden Ring. That's what it seems to me, anyway. Maybe Burnout? It could be. I think if we're talking real here, I think Soulsborne content creation is kind of dead. I mean, it's for me specifically, once I finished Elden Ring a first time, I didn't want to do the thing everybody else was going to do. You know, play with every weapon, do every speed run, no hit run, dance pad runs, arcade stick runs. I mean, I've been a part of the content creation process since almost the beginning. It's getting old. It's getting old. I feel it. I feel it. Here's what I really believe. I don't think that the games are hard enough anymore for content creators. I think people like me and Distortion and Happy Hob and countless Lobos, tons of other Soulsborne content creators have made lots of videos, have made lots of guides, have told people how to play these games for years. Everybody knows how to play them now, and they're not hard enough. So basically, content happens really quickly now because everyone's able to do it. The games are not hard enough. They're just not hard enough. What about speedruns and challenge runners? I'm talking about that too, man. Old school speedruns were much harder back in the day. People weren't good at the games back then. People are much better at these games now, and the games, they haven't gotten hard enough. I really think that, because society is conglomerate, and everybody learns from each other, and especially with content creation, that's what's happened. We've all learned from each other. We've all gotten really good at these games, and they're not a chore. They're not difficult anymore. I mean, literally, like, I beat Bloodborne with an arcade stick. I saw Luality years ago beat Bloodborne and all the games with the dance pad, right? Everybody can do this stuff. It's not really impressive anymore. I don't think people are impressed by it because the games allow you to go through them really easily. Everybody knows how to play them now, and the difficulty hasn't adjusted to the player base. That's what I think about content creation in Soulsborne. When you're good at DS3, you're good at Elden Ring. Souls community is one of the best, though. Yeah, I'm just saying why I think that there's been a lack of interest lately. I 100% agree with you, Zeus, on this. Streaming kind of killed the gaming industry in the aspect, too, with every game. Nah, see, I don't agree with that curb appeal. I think streaming is like putting the gaming industry in a pressure cooker, right? So it's streaming has made it so that everybody can get better at games quicker. The internet brings us all together. content creation, for the most part, is a lot about overcoming challenges and helping people get through those same challenges. So you learn from streamers. It's our job basically to teach you in some ways, not maybe specifically, but that's what streamers do. You've heard that countless times, how many people come into my stream and they say, oh, I learned how to play because of you. And it's not just me, it's everyone. Everyone has that experience if you're a Soulsborne content creator. The playing field has leveled, and I don't think the video game industry has caught up. Even from software. It'll maybe bounce back with Elden Ring DLC. I hope so. I hope it's super difficult. But I guess the point that I'm trying to make is that, look at me, I'm fighting this boss right now, and I'm responding to things in chat. It goes the other way too. Chat can help streamers learn games, sometimes too much, so much backseating. Well, that definitely helps a lot of people out finish games a lot earlier. Definitely. I think there's a lot of people just like things easier. They seek out things that are easier. For me, it's a time problem. I have 4 to 5 hours in a week to play PlayStation. I don't want to spend 4 weeks on a new boss. I hate that, man. I really hate that mindset. I almost forgot that. Listen, I just don't like it when we all have our own opinions and wants about things. I get that. But for me personally, I don't like when someone says, I don't have enough time to play a difficult game. Therefore, developers should make games for me. I want the opposite. I want games to be difficult. I find the walking simulator games to be much worse at wasting my time than a Soulsborne game. Like, compare 4 hours of struggling on one boss in Elden Ring versus 4 hours of watching cutscenes, holding forward, and doing some fetch quests in Hogwarts. I'll take the 4 hours in Elden Ring any day of the week. Any day of the week. Nioh 2 did a good job of being difficult. Yeah, I like Nioh 2. There are good walking sims, though. Listen, I review things on their ability to be a game, all right? Lots of people, when I talk about Hogwarts Legacy on Twitter, they were like, well, I just like the immersion aspect, Zeus. That's what does it for me. That's not a game. You know, walking through and saying, oh my god, this looks great, I'm so immersed, that's not the game. You could like that. You're allowed to like whatever the hell you want. But that's not a game. It's not a game. Like this part right now that I'm doing, this is not gaming. I'm just running through an area. This is hold forward, okay? But the difference is, in this game, if I don't want to skip this, I could fight all these guys and game here, right? Okay, now I'm gaming. Gaming. Simple gaming, but still gaming. There's a difference. I actually have to avoid things. And then in 35 seconds, there's a boss for me to fight, which is pure gameplay. Hogwarts Legacy, you know, they want to make me wait 90 seconds to brew a potion. Literally just stand there doing nothing. Not a game. You hope Armored Core is hard as hell? I hope so, but I don't really... I think From Software is done making difficult games, man. Like I said, every content creator out there has to make From Software games more difficult than they naturally are. It's been like that for a while. I don't see them ever making a really difficult game anymore. Unfortunately. I hope they prove me wrong. The Dark Souls Prepare to Die edition, that doesn't exist anymore. You know, they're not going to come up with a tagline that is going to tell people, oh, you're going to die over and over again. They want the games to be more accessible to everybody so more people can enjoy them. And it ruins it for me. So they've literally traded, you know, mainstream appeal for me, for their core fan base and audience, and I'm upset about it. Hope they'll do something like they did with Sekiro. We'll see. We'll see. Magus the Fiend with the 18-month resubscription. Thanks, Magus. Mods can do what you're looking for. So? Mods are janky, bro. Listen, I love mods. I'm probably one of the biggest proponents of the Soulsborne mod community. Love it. But they're janky. Okay, they're not AAA multi-million-dollar products. They're not. They're janky as hell. There's a lot of clipping. There's some awesome stuff about it. I love them, but they're clearly made by, you know, one fan, right? Maybe a couple fans. It's just not the same level of quality. So, like, yeah, I can get stuff like that, and it's cool, but I want real game developers to make games that are difficult. Scooch. Bop. Forgot I can't do that. Was there not enough balance in Elden Ring? No, there's no balance in Elden Ring at all. No balance in Elden Ring at all. Easy game. Have you seen that 17-chapter lore essay on Bloodborne, how the game is about addiction, sickness, and treatment during the Victorian era? I have not seen that now. There's your hardness. You're missing the point entirely, man. Like, yes, I can make the game harder by myself, but I'm saying naturally it's too easy. To the point where it makes content creation go a lot faster. So easy that when other people play the game, they get through it easy. Then when content creators are doing stuff that's legitimately difficult, nobody appreciates it, or they appreciate it less because their view of the game is it's easier. I'm dead. I thought the game was about top hats being cool. When I found Fingerprint Stone Shield, I found Elden Ring's a really easy game. I mean, in Elden Ring, you can literally summon AI to fight fights for you. You could fight groups, summon groups of them. There's spells that allow you to cast multiple enemies and magic that does insane damage. I think people complain that hard games weren't accessible. I always hated that. I always hated that. Oh, I don't have Beast Blood pellet. All right, we'll do it no pellet. Damn it. I try to be cute there. No reason to be cute. Cute enough as it is. Come here. I'm the master, orphan, baiter. Told you. I whiffed. I'm so dumb. I just didn't hit the button. I just didn't hit the button. Just didn't hit the button. Guts Wrath with the 21-month resubscription. Thanks, Guts Wrath. I guess we were talking about action games difficulty. There's puzzle games so hard nowadays that even with a guide, I have no issue with puzzle games. Like if it legitimately, there's some puzzle games out there that are legitimately fine. Because they give you the kind of gameplay you're looking for. I have no issue with that. I have an issue with multimedia products that, like, try to pretend that they're giving you puzzles when it's really just like, oh, there's 3 spheres in your view that you have to break or hit. You know, that's not a puzzle. Let me just... Whatever. No buffs. 1 buff. Portal. Yeah, exactly. Like, you're playing through Portal 90% of the game you're playing. You're thinking. That was close. That was not close. I was behind him. Okay. That was real weird. Let's go get more buffs. That's 3 or 4 times I've died on this run to really bad hitboxes. Really bad ones. Forspoken could have been a great game. I mean, I really believe that this is going to sound egotistical, but if you were to just make me in charge of any AAA game, give me a budget, give me 100 people working for me. Like, just put me in charge of the studio. I could make most AAA games, just change them around, and they would be good. There's so much good stuff, like so many good ideas in games that they don't pursue because they're not trying to make a good game. They're trying to make good graphics or a good story. There's a lot that's really good in the gaming industry, but they just don't pursue it, and everything just falls flat. Had a customer who was settling on a house that day try to get out of paying $23,000 in extras they owed for me. People are hilarious. People are hilarious. It's a bit different when you're on the other side. No, it's not. No, it's not a bit different. Wouldn't even have to be a AAA game. It's just that I really believe that the directors, the people who control things, screw it up for everybody. Because they just put so much focus on stories and graphics. And they don't think about quest design. Very, very little about level or world design. They don't think about ratcheting up the gameplay experience or giving the player challenges throughout their questing. There's no excuse for big developers not to innovate. I know. That's what I'm saying. I find it to be really, really, really bad, for lack of a more eloquent word. With bigger budgets, they have to be more risk averse in order to make money back. That's the biggest see, that's just what they tell you and you believe it. That's the biggest farce. I'm saying that's what they think. That's not what they think. It's not what they think. What they think is that they want to make a less complex game because it costs less money. The effect is the same, but the intention is different. Frack. I try to get there. I try to get under them. Can we blame capitalism? Capitalism's not the problem. Conglomeration's the problem. Conglomeration. Companies buying up every other company. News companies buying up every local news station, so now we have only 4 or 5 news companies. Conglomeration's the problem. It's not capitalism. It's conglomeration. I also wish people would think more about the games they play. So many people are like, I love this game because the character's hot. The character's hot, the graphics are good. You think that Elden Ring's so popular, big AAA developers try to copy that? No. No, because as much as I like to yell about it or whatnot, the consumer base on the planet is not very critical, not very intelligent. They like things as simple as possible. They like things that turn their brain off. They don't like to think. They don't like. They're only making products. I said this in my tweet about Hogwarts Legacy. They're only making these products because you guys are buying them. Not necessarily you, but most people like this stuff. That's the issue. So they're going to continue to make it. They like things that are easy and let them feel like they're a god with no punishment for mistakes. Hogwarts Legacy is a good game, but the combat's for a baby. So how's it a good game? If you don't think the combat's good, what are the gaming elements, the gameplay elements about it that you like? He just threw a goddamn gumball directly at me. Zeus is trying to teach you to be precise with your language. Exactly. Because the combat is the only aspect of gaming in Hogwarts Legacy. For the most, like, there's no RPG elements. You know, there's a few puzzles, but there's really nothing else that's gameplay. So I'm questioning. What was your name? Where's your name? Still haven't gotten an answer. I'm questioning Ken Wyvern on what aspects of the gameplay they enjoyed, if not the combat, if it's still a good game. What's your opinion on God of War? The first one I thought was monumental in terms of that whole one cutscene thing. Thought that was great. I thought it, looks beautiful. It plays really well. The combat was really cool for just an action game. My big issue was enemy variety. There was 6 enemies in the whole game. You fought trolls a billion times, golems a billion times. There's not many bosses. The new one, I thought they made better enemy variety, but they made so many more cutscenes and so many more walking and talking sections. There was like a 2.5-hour cutscene section with your girlfriend or whatnot. It just wouldn't let me play the game. Like, I enjoyed the game. Same with Hogwarts. I mostly enjoyed the combat. God of War Ragnarok and Hogwarts Legacy, it's basically the same combat. Ragnarok has better animations by a long shot, though. So it's more fun. But both of them fail to provide me with a gaming experience. Most of my time is spent walking and climbing and listening. So it's not. I don't consider them games. I consider them multimedia entertainment products. I made you think. That's what I'm saying, Ken. That's what I'm saying. A game is all about gameplay. Like, and on consoles, it's what you're doing on the controller. It's all about the gameplay. You know, we could sit here and say, oh, it looks beautiful, but let's be real. Every single game out there looks beautiful these days. It's not that hard to make a game look beautiful. It's not. It's not that hard to make a game world that can immerse us. I mean, technology has come so far. Software and hardware have come so far to when we have grown up that it's ridiculous. This game was made 7 years ago and it still looks astounding. I mean, look at it. It's amazing looking. We could talk about graphics all day, but it's really unnecessary because it's not the game. Strip away the game. Look what I'm doing on the controller. Dodge, attack, attack, attack. Strafe, dodge, R2, perfect, double R2. Lock on, back away, dodge through the attack, R1, dodge again, wait for it, dodge through, R1, dodge again. I could get 2 here, I could get 3 here, staggered, 4, dodge through, let's try to bait him here. Let's try to bait him, he didn't bait. Okay, we gotta wait, he's got an AoE, let's move in. Try to bait him again, he's not having it. Scooch in, R2, critical hit, double up, strafe left, scooch through, hit him. Oh, we fracked up, and we died. See, that's a game. That's a game. I was just gaming right there. There's 30 other examples of fights like this in this game. Hogwarts Legacy, I played for 20 hours, and I didn't have one fight that was on the level of even the first boss in this game. And this game came out almost 7-8 years ago. 20 hours I played in Hogwarts Legacy, not one fight on the same level as the first boss in this game. I find that to be an embarrassment. I think it's embarrassing. This guy's my favorite boss. Because he'll kick your ass. He'll kick your ass. Now let's kick his, though. I was playing in the beginning. Okay, now now I'm done playing. I'm good, I swear. The legendary jump back backstab. You never see any other player get that besides me. Not one. Boom. Oh, there's a scoocher. Frag, bro. I was an inch away. I was an inch away. Yo, Cheddar Cheese with the 17-month resubscription. Thanks, Cheddar. You gotta try BL4? Yeah, do it, man. I try to recommend it to people because it operates more on what I call true difficulty. So how I define true difficulty is basically if you were to take 2 different bosses from 2 different games or even the same game and compare them to each other. Sometimes bosses have less health than others, right? So, like, you could take 10 hits to kill boss A and 20 hits to kill boss B. So you think boss B is harder than boss A. But in a lot of instances, if you were to take boss A, which is killed in 10 hits, and kill it in 20 hits, and equalize it with true difficulty, and compare it against the 20 hit, and both the damage done to you is equalized as well, then you'll find that a lot of bosses that are given low amounts of HP, a lot of bosses that you think are easy are actually more difficult than the harder bosses. And it's just because of the RPG elements in the game. Because they literally have less HP, so you can kill them. Or you might realize that, they have certain power-up moves that allow you to get 3 or 4 free hits in. There's a lot that you can quantify in games that I think people don't realize in terms of comparison. I've gotten hit by that so many times today. When I'm good at the game, that won't ever hit me. But it's hitting me a lot today. I'm not good at the game right now, though. I think it also just forces you to properly learn all the fights. It does. That's what true difficulty will force you, because if everything kills you in 1 or 2 hits as opposed to 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, in Dark Souls 3, there's so many times where I could just level up Vigor and just have a boss hit me 7, 8, 9, 10 times in a row, and I don't die. It's so pathetic. It's so bad. And Bloodborne, the same thing happens. You get 20 healing items in Bloodborne. So you could end up beating a boss because you just used 20 healing items on it, not because you were good. Pardon me, but it's actually 20 healing items and a rune that heals me on viscerals. Thank you very much. Bro, come on. That's an ad. I appreciate your allowing us to listen to the Orphan soundtrack so much today. Yeah, I just wanted to let you guys appreciate this awesome fight. I'm obviously dying on purpose here. You're taking it rather well. I appreciate it, man. And I usually play a lot better than this too. It's just that I've taken a lot of time off of these games lately, so I'm rusty today. Come back tomorrow, I'll probably play a lot better. Tomorrow I might play like Dark Souls or DS3 or something. We'll see. Oh, I'm dead. Wish he said scholars. Well, I actually, before I said, oh, maybe we'll go through a tour of Dark Souls, but I didn't realize that Wild Hearts game was coming out on Friday. So I kind of want to play that. Which means I probably just don't have enough time for DS2. I could play DS and Dark Souls 3 in between now and then. But I don't think I could get DS2 in there. I don't really know DS2 that well. Do it. No! He did it! Scooch. I think I had 1 pixel of iframes right there to hit that. Oh, we're killing him here. No, we're not. His stupid magic rock saved him. Elden Ring style combat. There we go. See, I told you I could beat him. I was just pretending the whole time. All right, no leveling. BL4, I mean 10. Hardest boss in the game. Let's go. Where are we going?
Sweet child of Kos, returned to the ocean. A bottomless curse, a bottomless sea, accepting of all that there is and can be.